Hey y'all, welcome back. I know y'all missed me. Go ahead. It's okay to admit it. Anyway, I'm here today to show y'all how to make salted caramel from scratch. Yep, that's right, from sugar with heat and a little bit of cream. And in no time, you'll have some nice hot caramel. Okay, guys, let's jump right into it. We're going to start off with a cup of white granulated sugar, 6 tablespoons of salted butter, a teaspoon of coarse salt, and a half a cup of heavy cream. Now I'm going to pop this heavy cream back in the fridge so it's nice and cold when we need it next. Okay, so let me get medical with y'all for a little bit. Now the salted butter is going to give the caramel a nice flavor, and there's no need to add extra salt unless you're looking for a salted caramel. Now I know a lot of y'all are not supposed to be eating extra salt, so you can always omit. So here I'm going to go ahead and pour my sugar into my pan, and my stove is set to medium high heat. And we're just gonna spread it out, spread it as even as we can, and then we're just gonna let it sit. So as we wait for our sugar to begin melting, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some backstory on caramel. So there are several different ways you can make caramel. There's a wet method, a dry method, and the can method. There may be other ones that I'm not familiar with, but those are the three that I know of for sure. This one that we're doing today is a dry method, and it's dry because you're starting with just sugar, melting it down, and then adding some ingredients to it. This is the easiest to me, I feel like, because I don't need the added tools. I don't need a candy thermometer, none of that. A wet method is when you start with sugar and water and you proceed the same steps once your sugar has begun to melt. Now, the canning method is when you take condensed milk and you warm up the can and you have a more milky caramel. That's also another option and it's fairly easy. But I feel like this one gives us a really nice nutty flavor. All right, moving right along here. So pretty much we're just waiting for our sugar to begin melting, and this can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20, 25, depending on how your stove top is cooking and the type of pan you are using. Now you just want to make sure that you're paying attention to your sugar at this point because things are going to start turning really fast. So as you can see right here, I'm starting to get that melting. So I want to go ahead and keep making sure that I'm stirring constantly so I'm not getting any burnt sugar, which is a terrible smell and taste in your caramel. How do I know about the burnt caramel, you ask? Well, let's just say one Christmas I went through about a pound of sugar trying to figure this all out. Mom wasn't happy, but she was once I finally figured it out. Now we're finally getting a little bit closer to what we want. Our sugar's starting to clump together, and we're also getting some caramelization going on there on the bottom, the amber color. And now is where you'll really smell that aroma that I was talking about earlier. So we're just going to keep an eye on it for right now because it's going to turn really quickly. So make sure you're like staring right at it, like eyes on it. Do not turn, do not cough, do not look to your left or your right. Look at your pan because this will turn very fast. So here we're almost to the end here. We're just going to mix that together, make sure we're not burning anything. And as you can see, all those clumps are starting to come together. We're getting that lovely caramel color. And now I'm starting to smell that nutty flavor. Y'all think I'm playing about watching this pan. Like, do not take your eyes off of this. Also, again, warning, this is very hot, so make sure you guys are being very careful. I normally use a longer whisk, but mine, of course, broke before I made this video. So if you want to donate a whisk to me, I would love it. Just go ahead. I'm going to drop my Amazon wish list below. Do with it as you please. No, seriously, donate to the cause. Okay, now we're moving forward. And here I'm going to add my room temperature salted butter, and I love the sound this makes. I don't know why, but it's so soothing. And please, again, be careful because this will bubble up and it will splash and you may get burned. So that's a disclaimer. Do not sue me. It may seem as though the sugar and the butter are not coming together, but that's okay. We have time for that later on down the road. Just keep mixing it as good as you can. Mix, mix, mix. Get that all in there. And no, you cannot lick the spoon just yet. It is still hot. Of course, your heat should be off at this point as well. Alright, out of curiosity, is it caramel or caramel? Drop a comment below and let me know how you say it and where you're from. So now that you've all commented below the proper way of saying it, we're going to go ahead and add our cold heavy cream. Again, your mixture may begin to bubble up again, as you saw my little bubble that popped up. Boop! We're going to mix, 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 and this should actually help us kind of get everything in there together. Seeing this all, as you begin mixing this all together, you'll notice that you'll have like a big clump of caramel in the middle. That's okay, that's just the caramel setting and getting cold from the cold heavy cream that we added. So just mix all you can, give it all your might, work out that stress from work. It's okay, girl. Or boy, you know, I'm not judging here. Y'all, just look at our caramel bubbling. Oh my goodness, I wish y'all could smell this right now. Ooh, yes. You better bubble up. Do your thing, caramel girl. Now, before we move on with anything else, we're just gonna make sure that we get everything mixed in together as good as we can, and we're going to allow our caramel to rest and cool before we do anything else. We don't want to add our vanilla or our alcohol in too soon because it'll just cook out. Fun fact, vanilla extract is just vanilla beans and vodka. In case you didn't know, I didn't know either, but that's what it is. So here we are after our caramel has cooled a little bit. We're going to go ahead and add that extra salt for that salted caramel flavor. Now again, this is optional. Get a little mix. Mix, mix, mix. Mix over there, mix over here. Mix, mix, mix. So this is one of my favorite parts. I'm adding some Crown Royal salted caramel to the mix here along with some vanilla extract. And again, my caramel has cooled down at this point, and I'm just going to whisk that in. And it's going to kind of separate, but that's okay. So just keep whisking. So this would also be another time for you to get creative and add some different flavors. Maybe some orange extract, lime maybe. Maybe you're feeling some lemon. I don't know, get creative and comment below and let me know what you come up with. Hey y'all, guess what? Just like that, y'all have some caramel on demand. This can last in your fridge in an airtight container for up to 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure you don't need me to tell you what to put caramel on, but just in case, you can dip some apples, you can put it in some yogurt, maybe even on your oatmeal, ice cream of course, pie, cake, the possibilities are endless. And you know, if you're pretty brave, you can just go ahead and eat it by the spoonful. Nobody's watching. Go ahead and do it. I know you're doing it already. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys soon.